What's up, everybody? This is Edward back with another video. This is gonna be a. This could actually be a short. This is a public service announcement. I was listening, to Glenn and Cameron. He was talking about lifestyle marketing, and there was a guy in the comment section that decided to bring up Kevin, and he wanted to bring up Kevin as far as image, which Glennon is actually cool with Kevin. And image is not the same thing as like wholesale lifestyle marketing or lifestyle conning people. Lifestyle conning people is when you sell the idea that you are actually making money and you can teach people how to make money when you're financing a lifestyle. That's what Glennon was talking about. Glennon was not talking about image. But this is not about Glennon because he didn't even mention it. This is really about the dude that made the comment. And you all see the title. I want to say this and I want to be clear. And y'all can say I'm caping for somebody all y'all want to. That's cool. I don't care. Any grown ass man that calls another grown ass man a kitten, you are a bitch and you're a pussy. And I'm gonna tell you why you're a bitch and you're a pussy. Shout out to Dennis Sperling. The gay dude basically slapping the dog out of a black female that he was there was in his face, and he did warn her many times to get out his face, and she put her finger all up in his face, and she's like what, maybe 5'4", and he's like 6'2", and then you just saw the camera fade a little bit, and then you saw her ass on the ground getting bounced on the ground, and it was a kind of a conversation about was he going to go to jail, and they'll probably classify it as self-defense. And then not only from a legal standpoint, because they're a protected class, but also when you see how the other women actually responded to what he did in real time, that to me told me a lot. It tells you a lot about just how people respond to stimulus, like what the society tells you to respond. And that's what I want to bridge to black men. Let's be completely honest. Let's be completely honest. Black men, most black men, it was a dude that went on Palmer's video yesterday, and he kept on using the F bomb. The F bomb. He said it like twice. And I told him the first time, don't say it because people are trying to shut our channels down. He didn't give a fuck. He was in his emotions and he just wanted to say it. So he said it. And Palmer didn't care, so that's his channel. But most of these dudes ain't got the fortitude to really say this to a gay dude's face. Like most of these dudes, they won't be in corporate America or working a job and they work with a gay dude and they just call him F bomb or call him a homosexual. They won't, because they know they will be fired. They know this. Most of these dudes are not gonna smack a gay dude because you're gonna get tagged with a fucking hate crime. You know this. You niggas won't even really get extremely buck on a gay dude like that because you all know that there are serious consequences. And a lot of dudes like to say shit like, you won't say it to my face and shit like that. When dudes want to get loud and start calling somebody a bitch ass nigga and all of that. But truth be told, and that's why Kevin said what he said like a while ago when he was talking about the LGBT needs to get in on it. They're not going to do that because he there. Everybody knows if Kevin was really gay, somebody would have said, like when I say somebody, you would see mofos get punished for doing this. You would see channels get fucked with. Everybody knows that it is sanctioned to call a heterosexual black man gay. That is a sanctioned move because for the most part, that's what only black women are doing. So it's compartmentalized. But black men like to get in on the fun, as David Carroll would say, and because they want the validation of quote unquote their women, they need it. Black men would rather be validated by black women and respected. um they want to, in their minds, take him down a peg. And David Carroll did a masterful video on this a while ago, and this is why he says black men are dumb. Because when black men get in their emotions, when they get into that Highlander mode, that's when, you know, the IQ just drops, and it's just straight like rams hitting horns. It's only one gear they go into. But this dude was in the and it wasn't even a big deal. He just made this comment on the image that, yeah, man, put on them kitten heels. And I'm like, you bitch at, like, nigga. And then so if I would talk to him straight up, I'm like, dude, you won't go to the nearest gay dude and then go start talking that shit. Go do that. Go do that and see what the fuck is gonna happen. See what the fuck is going to happen to you. You won't do it. And I know you niggas won't do it. This is why, we know black women are not saying this from a great place. We understand that. But when they bring up the Zimmerman shit, the fact that Zimmerman has been able to do X, Y, and Z, and to be fair, the white dude that actually really chin checked Zimmerman, I don't know what it is. Zimmerman must be like Kane or something, because that white dude actually got in trouble for that, like serious trouble, to be fair. But my point is, and this is not about street dudes. This is about anybody that would do that. Like, you got dudes. I understand why women are bitches. They're dumb. The end. I'm talking about the dudes. Y'all, it's like y'all will go up and call, yeah, he's a kitten. He's this, he's that. Kitten. I'm like, nigga, you won't go to a straight, you won't go like to a gay club and start doing that shit. You won't. You won't. Even if a gay dude disrespects you, like, I'm not saying necessarily you won't react to that, but y'all not gonna go out y'all way over a social media comment. Like, I'll give you a perfect example. There was a dude that Palmer thought was a girl, and it was a dude. He was gay. I mean, he looked at all of that, and these motherfuckers weren't wilding out. If you got something to lose, y'all ain't gonna have that same energy. A lot of y'all. This is not to say all of y'all, but y'all not gonna really have that same energy, because y'all understand what it is. And if y'all don't believe me, I'll prove it. We all grew up. If you're 34, you're within my age range. If you're like north of 30, we all grew up being able to. I mean, you even got the Boondocks saying the F-bomb. The Boondocks saying the F-bomb. That's how recent that shit is. And you saw how now that's not allowed, and then there's consequences behind it. Folks, for the most part, have stopped saying that. Shout out to Harambe. The ring is whack and jealous. The rings are whack and jealous. But I'm just saying, and this is just me calling that out. It's just like dudes, like, for the most part, I try to talk to people online like I would talk to you in your face. I keep that standard. Because I believe that's a standard you should keep. The way I talk to y'all online, if y'all say stupid, it's gonna be generally how I would react. If we're like, let's say we're in my house, or we're playing a game, I'm around a boy or whatever, this is how I'm gonna react. Not necessarily saying if I'm in a corporate setting I'm gonna do, but this is generally how I'm gonna react. Like, I'm not talking to you in a way and then I'm gonna be mute. No. I'm not gonna do that. Not gonna do that. That's why I like to give you an accurate picture of, like, my size and what I look like, so y'all can understand that. Like, straight up. And same thing with even like, you see, I'm saying the F-bomb. Because for the most part, I'm generally communicating in a way that I would normally communicate. But you got a lot of dudes where they like to get in the chat, especially, and they like to just say off the wall shit. And I'm not gonna act like people are not a little bit more off the chains in the chat than they are verbally. I think we all are. But for the most part, a lot of folks are like completely off the goddamn chain. And I know a lot of y'all don't got that same energy, because a lot of y'all will be constantly fighting. Like, a lot of the people in this space is always in some shit. Y'all will be constantly getting your ass whooped or constantly getting jumped. Because some of the shit that some of y'all be doing, and I'm talking about the manosphere as a space, will warn people saying, I normally don't believe in teaming up on with somebody to whoop somebody ass, but that nigga needs a lesson that needs to be given. And I am about to, and he needs a curriculum, and we are about to get a couple of teachers to help this motherfucker out. He about to graduate from the school of hard knocks. For real. And a lot of y'all, like it's crazy, man, because I'm going to keep it real. I don't think a lot of y'all would really say that to his face. I really don't. I don't really believe y'all will go, because a lot of, I don't think y'all would really do it. Because number one, so y'all don't know if motherfuckers can be, y'all don't know if motherfuckers can really fight. And the other thing is, y'all know if motherfuckers can be really litigious on your ass too. Shout out to Tristan Thompson for putting that judgment on that bitch that lied on him as far as kids. I don't give a fuck how many kids these niggas got. If they ain't theirs, they ain't theirs. Don't matter if you hit or not. Don't matter. And we need, and shout out to Ramil who really talked about that. You need more people doing that. You need more people putting judgments on people. Well, you ain't ever gonna get the money. It don't matter. The point is, she ain't gonna be able to get a car in her name. She ain't gonna be able to get a house in her name. It don't matter if she could find her way around it. She find a sucker nigga. None of that matters. You fuck them up. You use the law. Stop like playing with these people. But my point is really with the dudes, and the same thing with that other dude. That other dude, he even warned her, the gay dude. And when she got put on her ass, she knew what time it was. She got some instant act right. He did not bruise her. She's not scarred for life. She just got bounced. And honestly, he held, if you saw that video, you know how big that dude is? That dude could have broke her jaw. That dude could have did a lot more damage. And look, I'm not a big person, but I have enough understanding to know there is an art to, using maximum power on some shit. And I think a lot of people completely underestimate that shit, especially with black men. And that's a part of not treating us like, not recognizing our humanity. Now somebody will say, well, he shouldn't have hit. Well, at the end of the day, man, me personally, I'm not going to jail. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. You don't want to get hit. Don't get in nobody's face. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I'm going to tell you right now, women don't have the right to be all up in a nigga's grill unprovoked. Look, man, I'm the type of person, if a female slaps the shit out you because you grabbed her ass, she has every right to do that. If she even busts you in the nose and you end up breaking it because you grabbed her ass, that's on you. But because I understand if she believes she's disrespected. It don't matter if she want to fuck, if she accepts it or not. I get that. But that's not the same thing as a woman thinking she just can be in some motherfucker's grill just because. I'm talking about finger all that. She daring somebody to do something. And you know what? I'm a Darwinist. We understand the law, but from a moral standpoint, fuck that. Fuck that. Like straight up. And I'm not even gonna it is what it is. She got what she was looking for. And that's why all them women laugh. And to be fair, if that would have been heterosexual dude, we know them women wouldn't have laughed like that. Them women would have been wilding out because they're sheep. They're sheep. Period. They're sheep. But my point is that you got people in the comment, like I see that, like Kitten. I'm like, come on, man. Y'all, for the most part, I think y'all got that from a female too. Which is some more bitch made shit. Like y'all are whack. Like for real. And I know y'all don't got that same smoke. I know you don't. A lot of y'all, if y'all had channels, y'all wouldn't be going out y'all way to talk about no gay, because y'all know y'all channel, y'all revenue will get fucked with. It may not even be from a gay person. It'll be from somebody that's just looking to mess your channel up, like somebody's looking to mess mine up. We know what time it is. So I guess the lesson in this video is don't do in a chat, a comment or a chat, or comment a chat or make a video of some shit you really wouldn't do in real life. Don't, because you never know how karma might create that situation to see what you really about. Life has an interesting way of irony that way. It really does. And I've seen that a lot. I mean, like really, like motherfuckers, like it's crazy. Even that's why it even makes me laugh when people talk about, oh well, you're a stan, you're a stan, you're a stan. I'm like, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this is some low IQ shit. That's really what it is. That's really all it is, and I charge it just like that. Anyway, let's see. Let's see what it is. What's up, TX Cali bro? What's up, Bandit? What's up, Jonathan? I like seeing some new people. See Gully, Bandit. See some people just haven't commented in a while. Gym Rat. I'm looking to get some really good templates for StreamYard too. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. One second. What's up, James? Marty? Yeah, that y'all should check out that Dennis Sperling. That shit was true. He really broke some shit down. Deborah, you said he got arrested? Deborah, he got arrested, Deborah? I'm not saying whether he should or shouldn't. Obviously, it's against the law to assault someone, but at the end of the day, just because he got arrested doesn't mean he can't pull that he was self-defense, because technically I would argue it was. Like, once you enter somebody's space with the intent of doing harm, when you put your finger in somebody like that, that's an intent to do harm. And we need to quit playing like so these women be having razors in their fucking tongues. You don't never know what the fuck is up. Well, I ain't about hating on. It's like, I'm sitting here because Glendon's in Atlanta too, and Glendon did a really good video. Shout out to Glendon Cameron, because people forget Glendon's got his Savage Finance channel, and that shit is growing like gangbusters. And I know he was working hard to try to get that channel moving again. His Hustlers Kung Fu, and they were just hating on him for no reason. But I'm glad, because he's at, like, that'll pass it probably by the end of the year. And he talks about nothing but finance, which is another dig at boys for acting like nobody wants to hear finance. Shout out to Erica too, who does very well, and she talks about finance. So, in fact, I haven't checked Erica's channel out in a while, actually. Well, you see, let's just see where some folks are real quick. I just can't stand that, man. That's just some bitch made shit to me. I mean, niggas hating on other dudes for no other reason. And I gotta say this too. I understand, that your version of a black man that you feel should be validated. Y'all motherfuckers need to get over that shit. And y'all really need to let go of the burden of needing to be validated by motherfuckers. Cause it's really some weak ass shit. A lot of y'all are really in y'all fucking feelings. Cause Erica's got 45,000. Glendon's got 39, and Glendon's moving with some serious momentum. So yeah, there's plenty of finance channels, Trevor. Like, and we ain't even talking about, like, dude, there's so many finance black channels. Like, really, if I wanted to really dig in there and really look. Anyway, shout out to Panther God. Black men need to impose circumstances across the board, building wealth, health. Yeah, and part of that, you can't help nobody else until you help yourself. Zimmerman's connected. His father's an attorney at this point. I suspect he's an arbitrary mark. Oh my God, it's a sacrament. Y'all really got to stop with that fucking witchcraft shit. Like, seriously, a lot of you niggas are on that shit more than the females. I swear to God. Like, the women get on my nerves when it comes to moon signs and shit. Y'all get on my nerves when it comes to that. The Black Florida Native Center is like a cookie jar. You can see what you talking about, Ed. And what's up, son? Is a hot Rob. What's up, Smurgo? You saying using the core ain't street though. Yeah, the court, and you know what? That's some nigga shit, and shit like that is why you niggas always walk in the court with your pants hanging down, ready to get fucked, because y'all got that mentality. And y'all are spitting in the face of people like Angry Man and Mr. Palmer, who are not squares, who work really hard to try to help brothers not fall into the same traps that they fell into. So y'all go ahead and volunteer for that, prison R word if you want to. Because that's what you dumbass niggas do when y'all have that street mentality. Because what y'all don't understand is, let me tell you something. And this Margot, this ain't directed at you. This is in general because the sentiment that's a sentiment I've heard before. I don't know if you all understand this or not, but in the country that you live in the country you're native to, none of that shit matters at the end of the day. That street shit and machismo shit, that's some shit. I'll think of it this way. The same women that will talk about they want a street nigga are the same women that will bow down to a lame ass white boy. And they see a lame ass white, but you know why? Because, and they will tell you that lame ass white boy dominates you. You don't believe me? Serena Williams and Alexis Ohanian. The reality is, the reality of the situation is, you notice how white boys have no problem overwhelming you with overwhelming force when it comes to using numbers to deal with your ass, and they never have a concept of, oh, well, that ain't the real way of handling nigga, or they have no problem changing the rules in sports to favor them. Those are some rules you all follow because you all want this sense of masculinity, I guess, because it's just like how women act a certain way because they didn't have the love of their father in their life. So that defines who they are and constitute for the rest of their life. It's the same thing with y'all. So y'all are operating with rules that other groups are not operating with. And other groups will use what they need to get what they need to get out of you. And you all fall for a hook, line, and sinker. Perfect example. Master P actually reversed it and played the Negro stereotype in order to get a better record deal in the beginning. But most of y'all don't think that way. Most of y'all want this macho shit to be validated, and then people just walk right around that. They just walk right around that and then take and deal with it. And then y'all get mad because if y'all understand, you notice how you never apply that, well, it ain't street to anybody other than other black men. Y'all don't even try to apply those rules to anybody else, even other non-blacks that try to act black or be in the black community. Y'all don't ever think about that. This is why I've talked about, I need to write that down too, cunning. That's going to be a topic I talk about, cunning. It ain't that y'all are dumber than everybody else. It's that y'all are not as cunning because y'all choose to fall for certain things. Y'all choose to buy into certain things that are set up for you to fail. And y'all don't even understand that shit. Y'all really don't. Y'all really don't. And a lot of people that recognize a quote unquote game, they just choose not to say shit because all you going to do is just call them a lame, call them a square anyway. So it's no point. Street honor is irrelevant. Street honor is irrelevant. You notice how street honor don't stop y'all from being gentrified out your fucking hood neighborhood. Street honor is, in a grand scheme of things, y'all are like Neo and y'all think y'all the one, and then everybody else is like the damn architect, and they telling you straight up what your street honor is really worth. And then you got all the screens in the background talking about bullshit and having a nervous breakdown because their worldview is being broken in front of the eyes. That's what street honor is. That shit doesn't mean shit. And I'm not saying to not have a code of conduct, but there's a code of conduct that are built on things that inevitably is set up for you to fail. It's set up for you to basically spin the hamster wheel and to stay in the place you are meant to be. That's what that's designed to do. That shit points you to jail, being subservient to a female, poverty, or which is a whole bunch of kids. Yeah, but whatever. This is not what that's about. My point is that crap, when people want to talk about Kitten and all of that, and y'all want to take that to other people's channels because y'all are that I appreciate it, Melody. And these women use that against y'all too. Y'all let these women, the biggest power you give these women is the power for them to define your manhood. That's the biggest issue. Like a black man was, oh, I'm loyal to black women because that's all I'm sexually attracted. Bullshit. The human condition ain't even built like that. And I'm not necessarily telling you to breed out the race, but if you say, oh, if I have kids, it's gonna be with a black woman, no questions asked. Because that's the position I take because I want my grandkids to look like me. That has nothing to do with the that has nothing to do with sexual access. Nothing to do with that. Other groups understand that. We don't for some reason. We don't. That's crazy. So even the power of choice that you have as black men, a lot of black men choose not to exercise it because some kind of code. Some people call it pro-black or pro whatever. I got you a perfect example. Phil from the Advice Show. Y'all may not know him because he hasn't been around this space in a while, but it's African diaspora. People want to say he's not pro-black because he's with a white Hispanic wife, but he had a black wife. He was married to a black wife. He has 2 kids. They're the same skin tone as him. I don't think he has another kid. So when he passes something down, they're gonna go to his kids. It doesn't like, but because so genetically he's covered, but because the women are upset because they feel some type of way, he's lumped in the same category of dudes that are technically breeding out. Technically, you could argue is breeding out the race. That makes no sense because it's not about what it's really about. It's about the sexual politics of it. Yeah. Um, it well, yes and no. That's complicated. Shout out to Ron Wills and BGS for talking about the imprint. I first heard the imprint from Alexis Tyler, to be fair. Um uh you can be in like what you're socialized to want, there is a choice in that. And yes, I've done like there is you can be imprinted to like certain things. So it is a choice. But if you don't understand the circumstances, about which most people don't, that defines that choice, then you're more subject to it. So when people have types, there are certain biological reasons why people like height is a biological thing. That's not really a choice. It's just a matter of your tolerance for it or not. Skin tone, it just depends. But the truth is, you can manipulate. Like most people don't ever get deep enough to really understand what they can manipulate. It's like developing a habit, and it's a little bit harder than that, but it's not but it's not something where you're not predestined. Like a black woman is not predestined to like white dudes. That it's not like that. It's really not. And then you got to add in the fact with dudes that ease of sexual access matters too. So let me give you a perfect example. Let's say you're a black man, and for whatever reason, this is not saying black women are bad, but you're just not compatible culturally with black women for whatever reason, raised in a different type of household, whatever. And your first 3 or 4 sexual partners, let's say, are Latin chicks. You most likely have a predisposition of Latin chicks because your image of sex, or when you had sex, your body is with them, and your body may be attracted to ease of sexual access. That doesn't say you're not attracted to black women or white women, but to you, you're going to establish what your niche is. So the biological imperative to actually breed is going to be like, okay, that's most likely to what I'm gonna get because they've shown me that. And a lot of people don't understand that. That's why you may have certain dudes that tend to gravitate towards certain women. It's not because they necessarily, or you'll have dudes like BGS who really aren't attracted to white women like that. But most dudes are more attracted to like certain body types and certain features than anything. So if they date a black woman that has a certain feature and they find a white woman that has certain features, you know, or if it's like that. Or if you're willing to deal with a black woman that's built kind of like Iman, then chances are you're willing to deal with a white woman, or a Asian woman is built that way. And that's what I see traditionally. This is why I always tell black women that Latin women are much more of a sexual threat than white women, because they have some of the same numbers. The culture is not that big of a gap. Hispanic men don't have the power over the society like that, so they can't exercise like existential white supremacy on you as a penalty. And then the women aren't losing a lot compared to what a white woman could lose. Is not as many gaps. So they worry about white women because traditionally that's been what the worry is, but you know. See what my mom's a black Latina, my dad's black American, love is love. Well, I mean, black Latina, black American, I mean, it's your stuff is culture. And the thing about it is there's certain things that can create there's certain like dynamics that can create attraction. Like for instance, like, black American men are not the most patriarchal men. And it doesn't mean that we're submissive. It just means we have more we can adapt better. So there's a lot of women that if they can get a dude that in their mind is more reasonable, but they can still get the features that they already will want, that's a win for them. And for dudes, we're used to dealing with women that are very, very hardcore. So it pretty much goes down from there. So that's not what I'm talking about with love is love. The shit is a lot more pragmatic than people really want to admit. Like dudes are not out here. Dudes may be be sexually attracted to a woman, but dudes are not really falling in love. Like a lot of dudes are not just, oh well, it's love at first sight. Bullshit. Bullshit. It's a lot more pragmatic. Now, once you actually accept and fall into those emotions, I'm not saying you could just jump right out of them. That's not what I'm saying. But it's not some shit like a woman can't just be a straight bitch to a dude and then the dude is just still gonna fall in love for what for that. That's not how that works. It's not how that works. Man, when I say bitch, I thought, well, she was a bitch at first sight, but I fell in love at first sight too. That's not how that works. That's not how that works for dudes. That's not how that works for dudes. This is why I say if you choose to trust the woman. And love comes once you trust her, whether you trust her for no reason or whatever, but that comes after. That's why I say that's a choice. Yeah, shout out to Glenn and Cameron. I appreciate that. I try. It's not that many Filipinas. And the thing about Filipinas is Filipinas are not necessarily like Latins probably deal with black men more than Filipinos do. I mean, Filipinos will deal with black men, but that's not a guarantee. And again, I'm just saying it what it is. I'm not. Oh, you're promoting interracial. Look, man, I don't care. My thing is, if you're not a problem, then you shouldn't have an issue getting somebody with your own race. Even because again, Afro Latin, Caribbean, that may be a different ethnic group, but that still qualifies as your own race. That still qualifies as your own race. They were raised by single mothers. They know nothing about manhood. Right melody. Alexis Tyler videos are classic. Yeah, a lot of y'all like. I mean, honestly, hell, before Love Dorsey, there was Alexis Tyler, and Alexis Tyler, you could tell like she went through dick like a fucking cocaine habit or crack habit or something. Cause you could tell they dick broke her. Because you can tell how she like boy Adam Mosley. Shout out to Charles Irby. I used to living myself by black and Latino women treat me better. And again, a lot of it is about companionship. Because when you talk about having kids and stuff like that, like dudes don't compartmentalize that. I do. Like there's a like when you look at quality of life and relationships, you know, who you like, we make it mean a lot more than what it needs to mean. And honestly, you know, like I said, um, people gotta earn you. And I think black men have no sense of women needing to earn them. People gotta earn you. Like you just like how you gotta earn your women, your men got your women gotta earn you. And a lot of y'all buy into this guilt shit that like women have been through so much. Man, they go to hell with that shit. Exactly, Jonathan. Masculinity is dominating by any means necessary, not street code standard. Exactly. That's the difference between true masculinity and machismo. And that's where the Hispanics get it fucked up too. People always want to complain about men being happy. If she makes you happy, skin tone and nationality shouldn't matter. I mean, from a pragmatic standpoint, it depends. If you care about legacy and lineage, yeah, it's gonna matter. It's gonna matter. But the question too is you have to weigh the problem with these things is these conversations, like look, these are conversations, in my opinion, you should be having with kids like between like 11 and 13. Like you really need to catch them before puberty starts. Like you really need to start having these conversations. And I think what happens is black people don't have these conversations early enough. And I'm not saying you putting pressure on people, but I'm saying you laying out the cards. This is why this and why that. This is the difference between your kids looking like you and you having companionship. Saying, I'm not saying you gotta only go this way, but you need to understand, like this is what other groups do. Other groups say, look, you can play with who you want to play with, but when it comes to what you add to this family, if you gonna add to it, this is what you need to deal with. So you need to like figure out how you gonna do that early on. Not no damn like this way say, oh, you're gonna get a Jewish girl. They say that they set it up, and they can enforce it by saying by like like shit they can pass down. But they say, look, you want to play with different people, go ahead and do that. Go ahead. But understand, and I've seen that. Like I like one of the women I dated. She was white. She was Canadian. And she and like her parents didn't have no problem with them dating black people. And looking back, like I think they trusted her. I can tell they had this conversation. And they trusted her, and it was to the point where like she would get those little racial digs from white folks because they felt this, or they would try to knock down her looks, which they were reaching. Oh, she has a cream face. So that bullshit, because they felt some type of way. You could tell, like I could tell. And but she's with a white dude, engineer, NC State. White kids, white, and I mean white, whiter than their parents. I don't think her dad is like mostly white, but not full white. Get it out. It ain't even about getting out of the system. It's about companionship versus lineage. People don't think about black people don't think about that. Black people and black women don't think about that. They wait until the shit already happens and then they want to try to correct it or they want to hope. No, you have, and this is a part of this. It's different between maintaining your kids and actually raising them. Skin tone, in my opinion, don't matter like that because the thing about skin tone, it depends. That is not a necessarily indicator of genetics. It that don't see that becomes what people are insecure about. People and a lot of folks are like really insecure about shit. It really because they want to be validated and they don't want to admit that's what it is. So a lot of friction we go through is people trying to pretend that ain't what it is when that is exactly what the fuck that is. And that's why I try to cut past the clutter. Like, man, keep it all the way real, man. This is what you really talking about. Cut the bullshit. Like, even when it comes to Kevin Samuels, a lot of people don't like Kevin not because of his points, it's because they're upset that a nigga other than the nigga that they belong to, their quote unquote nigga ethnic group, they don't see that as being validated. So they get upset. they're upset and they feel some type of way, but they don't want to communicate it that way because they know how that looks. That's not a good look. So they try to come up with anything and everything to try to make it not that's not what it is. And it's like, and some people are not astute enough to see that. But I see it. And it's like, and I just choose not to say nothing because I know how people are gonna react to it. But yeah, hold on. You see, this is what happened. No, you didn't get time. I didn't time you out, Melody. See, all you niggas that y'all get mad asking why do I give all these women wrenches? I give these women wrenches because I'm not gonna be looking. I'm not gonna be looking in the chat for you all for if y'all go mess with women. So sorry about that, Melody. Um, I gave you a Dre. Why did you time her out? Like, what are y'all doing? Anyway, I fixed it. You got a wrench, so you're fine. Alexis Tyler. I can't show her. I'll link a video. This shit's pre 1.0. I don't know. I don't know if Dre. Well, what are you doing? Oh, okay. Exactly, Urban. It is either all or nothing. Companionship. Um. Oh man, appreciate it, Melody giving the super chats, man. Go ahead, get that transfer that money. I appreciate it. All right, Dre. I understand you did it by accident. No, it's not something. We don't even talk about that. And then we just talk about, oh, love is love, blah, blah, blah. No, no, no. No, no. It's a lot more pragmatic than that. Once I had a Jewish colleague tell me that his parents, hold on, let me, because I know y'all be like, what the fuck am I talking about? Y'all be telling me that. Once I had a Jewish colleague tell me that his parents told him from a young age that he can date and sleep with whoever he wants, but it comes to marriage, yes, absolutely. And I think I don't think that's reasonable. I don't think that's unreasonable. Because they sat there and they say, look, you can do what you want, but at the end of the day, this is what it is. And that makes sense. This is why you think I be like, oh, black women need to date white men. Now don't think you gonna go and have a bastard mixed baby and then you gonna find a stepfather here. No, 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 no. That is not what I'm saying. What Because you do that, that's on you. And you're not gonna say that's not a choice because abortion. What I'm saying is you need to get that out your system so you can stop pretending like you think you can do better. If you can, do it or deal with it. Like, and all it is, you upset because you can't go over there. Actually, O'Shea did a really good video on this with Carrie Hilson, and he made a great point. He made a point of saying a lot of women, and sometimes he'll make videos like this and he'll spin it into some why you should just stay in the community. And I'd be like, okay, whatever. Because I mean, he's basically being on brand at that point. But this time it really hit because he said a lot of black women want to be seen as black queens by black men, and they get stopped seeing black men stop seeing them as black queens once they see them with a white dude. And I've seen that. They may not start hating on you, but you're not gonna have that black queen status even from the simps like that. Because you done broke. That's why a lot of these women don't show their men. Because you broke the magic. And a lot of women, they still want that. They still want dudes to pursue them that they have no business, they have no intention of dealing with like that. And so a lot of women know when you over there, you over there. Dudes are gonna just write you off for the most part. I mean, they may not sit there and let you just get completely messed up, but at the same time, the store it's closed. Yeah, absolutely. And women know that. Women are aware of that. Women are not stupid. Appreciate it, Melly. Appreciate it, Big Poke. Dang, man, Melly trying to break a record. Kwame getting 15 K a live stream. He coming for Kevin and women support him, so I know it's real. I mean, look, man, I want Kwame Brown to get as many subscribers as he can. I told you all once, I'm gonna tell you again. First of all, I listened to him. I was like, okay, Kwame kind of understands the politics of it. Kwame, I like what he's got to say. And the thing about it is, this will calm a lot of motherfuckers down when it comes to Kevin. Because if Kevin's seen as the only option, dude's gonna feel pressure. Versus they have somebody else, Kwame has gone to Red Supreme's channel. Kwame is a real dude. And a lot of y'all, he checks the Southern box with the tractor. He's got enough of his money. He probably see this as fun. It's probably something. He like, fuck, and fucking Jack and Becky with the good hair, which I hate saying that. I'm like, can do it. I can do this shit. And I'm sure he likes the support. I think he deserves it with the heat that he took. He deserves like a second, shit. He's in retirement from basketball. Shit. There's a lot of ways you can make money out of basketball. So a lot of things. Shout out to Angela. Shout out to Bree. That just hit me. I didn't know that was a female that said that. Jewish colleague that said, but you have to marry. Oh, Jewish. Yeah. Every race has this conversation with black people. You're right. Every race do have this conversation with black people. And there's no excuse. There is no I wasn't educated. That's bullshit. And the reason why is because black people do a good. They worry more about keeping secrets than telling the truth. That's what we do. We like to keep secrets because we don't want our shit to be called the fuck out, and then people gotta find it out later on. What's up, Pharaoh? Yeah, I know. I get you did it by accident. I was surprised. I was like, Judge, what the hell? Appreciate it, Melody. I mean, what Melody at $40 right now? Let's see, 10, 20, 30. Yeah, I think she at $40, yo. See, I ain't trying to be an asshole, but then y'all be wondering why y'all be catering to the females? The females be putting up money. And y'all be getting mad. I mean, he could, but at the end of the day, I mean, he could. I'm gonna keep it real. I would rather Kevin, if he had to promote somebody, I'd rather be Dr. Tia Son Johnson, or quite frankly, I would like him to interview Dr. Tommy Curry. I mean, speaking of interviews, that interview with that female, I know that required an exercise in extreme self-discipline, because I know he didn't want to jam. I know he wanted to jam her up because she was just being stupid. Did y'all see that interview? I'm not saying it's all about the money. Y'all know good and well that for me it ain't all about the money, but you act like I'm not paying attention to the money. You a motherfucking fool. Edward Anderson, I understand that, but what do you do when your group of women are basically unmarriageable unless you're including intercultural in that? Well, let's take out intercultural. You only got to find one. So the question really becomes, I understand the stats. Believe me, I understand the stats. The question though is, how intentional are you about it? Like, let me keep this all the way 100. Let's say you want to be married. You know you need X amount of money in order to be married, depending on what you want to be at. This is some shit. Honestly, I'm not saying. Let's say you one of these blue pill niggas where you want to be married at let's say you're purple pill. Let's say that, and you want to be married. You know, it's like, all right, I'm like 23, 24. I know I'm probably gonna eventually want to be married. Maybe 30, 31, 32. I'm not necessarily saying like you aiming, but that you're not necessarily thinking like that, because it's not. Obviously, men plans, God laughs. You know you need a certain amount of income. You know you need a certain amount. And then when you look at the type of women you want to deal with, part of you getting that income is to be able to explore the country, to really be able to see what type of female you vibe with regionally in the United States. And so you need to build up your roster of people that you know, and network. and think of that. Circles that you need to get involved, get with. I mean, but people don't think about it that way. And then you, Glenn and Cameron called it a dream girl profile too. You need to have an idea of that's what dating's for. Dating is really initially for you understanding what you like and what you don't like in a female from a mental standpoint. The problem is, and then you need to be straight up about what you're up against and then plan for that. The problem with a lot of black men today is a lot of black men don't accept the reality of what shit is. And if you can't accept the reality, you can't plan for it because you have a blind spot. It's like imagine if America couldn't just accept the idea that a bunch of tribes people from the Afghanistan mountains could basically knock a couple of buildings out in the United States. Here's the thing: in '92 they did it once. They didn't knock them down, but they blew them up. So, but they couldn't see that scenario, so it had to happen. It's the same thing with a lot of things. You have to look for blind spots. And here's the truth. You'll never find them all. You'll never find them all. Karma and God has a tendency to find that one thing you didn't think about. The shit you think about is never what comes at you. Like I said, Melody's at, appreciate it. Appreciate the $10. Melody's at $50, man. Definitely appreciate it. Pharaoh World Hustler. Appreciate the $10, Pharaoh. Yeah, BGS would be great on Le People Let's Talk, but see, he'd have to break that rule of you can't cam up. And the question is he gonna do that? ARC would be dope. Well, ARC is married. So you have to be, but you only have to find one. And people will say, oh man, see you trying to sell dudes in a marriage. No, but that's the reality of it. You only have to find one. And with what I know, what I know now, if I had to only deal with eight those black women, as far as selecting a wife, I could do it. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, North Carolina is a good state to get married in because you got laws that benefit. You got some good laws in this state. Cause that's another thing. I'd be very careful. I would pay attention to laws. It's just like setting up a corporation. And no, you ain't never heard that. Just like setting up a corporation, where they say Delaware, Nevada, there's certain Texas. Same thing about which is the best state to get married in. I would be under no delusions as to marriage is not for life. I don't believe that. I do not believe that. So the question really would be, I would aim for a goal for about 15 years. Because if I can get it to 15 years with my kids, then I can pretty much develop the kids the way they need to be developed. And I'm going to keep it real with you. I actually think that you should have a prenup and a postnup. Meaning you should pretty much say, I think if you tell people we're going to be married for X amount of time, and then it's like, this is how we're going to do this, in this event of this scenario. So everything's clear up front. I actually think that might be the way to go going forward. Because if you do the for life thing, that actually did, I don't know. I'm just thinking spitballing. But if that's how I would go about it. I would go in knowing it wasn't going to be forever. I would go in knowing that and plan for that. Even if that meant moving assets into some of my other family members, like my immediate family as a mecca, like that's how I would do it. Appreciate it again, Melody. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start shouting out Melody's channel. Basically, you buying ad time. I know that's not the intention, but still, get some free shout outs from me with that. I'm not doing too much, Smurgo, because if you marry a chick from around the block, that's how you catch a financially transmitted disease, which completely fucks up your quality of life. You got to really think about, like, honestly, think about it. Black men need, like, somebody should sell a course on this. Somebody, like, lead attorney, Dennis, especially Dennis, because Dennis has been through. Lead attorney ain't got no kids, but lead attorney is also. Hold on, let me not write off lead attorney. Lead attorney is, I think, what, a divorce lawyer or some shit. So he's got experience specifically in this shit. Y'all need to get on that. Cause lead attorney be like, look, man, I got this $200 course. This gonna be like boom, 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 boom with all this extra shit. Shit, that might be worth buying for real. Like, honestly, because enough of that is not done. You have to do that. Like, there has to be a vetting process. Shit, you get vetted to go to college. You get vetted to go to college, and you still got to pay to go to that motherfucker. Now, especially if you got something to lose. ARC is a Kevin hater. I've never heard ARC hate on Kevin. No, absolutely, Melody. Because I mean, yeah, I'll put you on the list. I mean, actually, Game Changer always talk about you about to go live. I didn't know you had a channel like that, like that. Yeah, because this is gonna be an hour. If you were to marry a Cherokee woman and have a child with her, according to the tribal law, you would sign your rights over as a man and father. By tribal law, it's matriarch by design, literally. Well, it's important to understand that type of shit. I mean, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I mean, even if you want to marry somebody, you know, if you want to, if it's really just about getting a kid and making a deal with a female, I mean, there's plenty of black women. I mean, I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. There's plenty. If you got your economics at a certain, this is the power of having time freedom and having control of your economics. Now, I understand that black professionals, this may not be easy because the thing about black professionals is they don't control their time, because to get to that elite level requires a certain level of commitment. This is another reason why people like to go to consulting, because that creates more wiggle room. But let's say you're somebody where you've developed passive income, you got your business in an automated fashion to where you can control your time. Well, at that point, that creates a hell of a lot of things you could do. If you really just want a kid, you can make, I'm not even saying, and I'm not talking about some weirdo shit like you just use a woman like an artificial womb and some shit and get a kid. That's not, well, I'm not saying that's weird to extent, but that's extreme today. What I'm talking about is at that point you could tap the planet, and it's really like, okay, I want this type of woman, this type of ethnicity, race, whatever, and then yeah, you're gonna create a relationship with her and all of that. But at that point, it's about making a deal. And just like how you pay a dowry, you deal with a family of a certain type, and you're looking for culture, genetics. I'm not saying I get it. Y'all want to be in love, y'all want to romance and shit. But if y'all find some of these attractive women in Costa Rica, stuff like that, you have options. Even if you don't do that, even if you do that in the United States, if you have that kind of intention, you kind of understand that. That's another thing. If you got paper and you understand going in, okay, this is what it's going to take. This is what I need with an attorney and shit like that, in case this shit goes bad on me. And you have that already available, like insurance. Now that requires a lot of money, but I'm just saying, like a lot of these dudes that be having all this money and shit. Look, I'm talking about it from somebody who ain't got no kids. I'm just spitballing this at this point, but I'm letting you. But the biggest issue with black men is black men assume these women are not going to betray you, because here's the problem: you can't really love a woman if you can't really trust a woman. So I understand that a lot of this shit is easier said than done. I get that. So I'm not here to tell y'all what I say is the be all end all. I'm just throwing some fucking ideas out here for y'all to kind of bounce back and forth, because I get it. And I remember when I was young, some of the females that I dated, shit, I understand what it is. She should be. She's their type of person. I mean, honestly, Kevin, I now believe, Kevin talked about every woman he dates are educated. I believe that now. I believe that. Kevin can't deal with no dumb bitch. Kevin's gonna get frustrated, and that shit's gonna come out. The elitist in Kevin is gonna come the fuck out. Whether you black or not black, Kevin don't care. Kevin, I understand that. Kevin needs a chick that's educated. I see why, because you can see Kevin, yeah, he needs a chick that's educated. Like I can see why he wants that. Yeah, I believe that anyway, but I definitely believe that now. Kevin don't seem like he like a bimbo. I mean, because think about it, you get too old where you just fucking like dumb bitches just for them to be dumb, especially if you But fresh and fit, that's more their speed. And I'm not. That's because that's who the fuck they talk to. And I said it. I said it in a comment. I said Kevin's like the final boss, and fresh and fit is like a mid tier boss. Appreciate the Haitian. Okay, here's half, and I ain't mad. Can't let the women show us up. Yeah, you right. Cause Melody then dropped more money than all of y'all niggas put together. I'm not even gonna front. That's not a great look, y'all. And y'all know how I am about money. I don't, sit there, but I'm just giving an example. This is something Obsidian would say. This is some shit Obsidian would jump on y'all about. Y'all know he would. This is why these niggas are turning into pro blacks. They jumping from black manosphere to pro blacks on you niggas. Like shit. You think Boyce Watkins doing all that simping for free? Boyce Watkins is pretty much a sponsor of the I'm not saying Melly's a part of gynocracy, but Boyce Watkins is a sponsor of the pro black. Remember what Dave Chappelle said? He said, I've taken sponsorships from Coke and Pepsi. Because Pepsi's paid me recently, it tastes better. So at this point, I think Melly was like at $55. So you 40. Hey, Haitian man, you representing. I'm not, look, man, I ain't trying to hustle y'all. I appreciate it. I mean, my content is my content. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. See, man, the thing about Melody, because I've seen Melody's Instagram. Melody's got an Instagram that would be real good at you know, this is y'all got to think big. Like some of these females, like they got they got their YouTube channels, but they probably blow up more on Instagram. Like for instance, Six has like what 30,000 subs on YouTube, but her Instagram is like 200, like 100 and something. So if y'all look at getting, that's what y'all don't be understanding about some of these women. Y'all loop them in because they already want to be here, and then y'all we can attract a lot of guys. It becomes a working relationship. They can attract guys to us, and then we keep it real, and then they cool because they see the women they came through here is cool with what we saying, and then you build up your shit. But y'all don't think about this shit. Y'all don't think about this shit. I mean, you know what? I'm gonna keep it real with you. She's standing on what she's saying. She ain't backing down at the end. Like, what do you want? You want these women to lie? I'd rather them tell the truth. No matter how crazy they think the shit is, put it on the wood. I'm not mad at her. Put it on the fucking wood. She like, yeah, this is what I expect. And if you can get it, you can get it. Like if you can get a dude to do that, then wow, she didn't. Hey, and shout out to Haitian man. Y'all trying to make me Ramil. But let me see. Shit. Yeah, and I mean, what do you think? Like, think about it. Like all these women, like Shira Seven and all of them, what the fuck you think they doing? And a lot of these dudes, they like because you got to think about it. A lot of these guys, you got to think about the guys they're around. A lot of these guys they're around are not necessarily like, they may not be rappers or producers, but they're like around that. It's a whole infrastructure with that shit. And a lot of y'all don't really pay attention to the infrastructure. Just like if you look at the four motor companies and the car companies, you have that, you have the tier contractors, then you have the people above them. Same in the tech industry. You got your Facebooks, your Googles, and all that. You got all of the tech contractors. Then you got like the subcontractors. Then you got like the subcontractors. You see that in the gaming industry? It's the same thing in the entertainment and rap industry. So now these women are making money being debutantes and shit like that. And you got dudes that they don't pay attention to their money for the long term. They pay attention for the short term. And when you do that, you're susceptible to, oh, this bitch makes my dick really, really hard. Okay, I'm gonna spend that money. You're in a suggestible state. And a lot of these women know how to take advantage of that. They're learning. And that's on you niggas. That's on you all. So all she's doing, I mean, honestly, she's actually doing y'all a favor by being honest like that. And she's doing folks a favor because she's letting you know this is what's out here. And y'all, and it's making harder for dudes to be in a fantasy. Am I saying every woman's like that? No, every woman's not like that. Every woman is not that bold. Most of these women are not that bold. And most of these women are not bold to just be randomly asking niggas for shit. Especially if you know how to fuck, they're not going to be just asking you for shit. Because they don't want you to take that D away. And they always can find another nigga to give them shit. That's why I'm like, if you gonna do that, you might as well do that overseas. Because think about it, even when it comes to traveling, what do we talk about? We talk about not giving, Western Union these bitches. Well, shit, if y'all don't do it here, y'all might as well put these bitches on retainer over there. It's cheaper to put them on retainer over there. Oh, but they got boyfriends over there. So you think these chicks ain't got 2 or 3 dick appointments? Appreciate that, man. I appreciate all y'all for real. Absolutely. All y'all, if y'all got to talk, anybody that donated like $20 or $5 to me, if you got a topic you want me to talk about, Edward Anderson 300K, it'll be in the description. Make sure you email me. And Melody, I haven't checked out your YouTube, but I'll definitely make sure I pump out your Instagram. Because I know you got an Instagram. I mean, I'm a thinker, as Glenn Beck would say. I'm just a thinker. Let me see. Well, yeah, all relationships are transactional. It's just they don't like to be thrown in their face. But the problem is you have to be clear about what the transaction is. So when people try to like, oh, well, no, you're not about to play me. You're about to put it on the wood. Because I'm willing to walk away. Because I'm going to tell you, she's attractive, but she ain't no change her lifestyle attractive. That's why y'all niggas that's why I keep telling y'all niggas to go overseas. Because when y'all feel like if y'all got money and be like, man, I could change her life, then you need to take your ass over to the DR, do a quick flight, go ahead, get your rocks off, and then see if you feel like changing her life after that. That's why you niggas need to do that. Because a lot of you niggas talking about y'all not tricking, but y'all some unacculturated tricks. And y'all don't even know it. Y'all want to call that romancing. Absolutely, Zoe. Appreciate Zoe for the $20 super chat. Yeah, man. Y'all making it rain, man. Shout out to Haitian. These ADOS content creators better respect the Haitians. I mean, honestly, the Haitian, 18. Shout out to Tariq Nasheed for promoting 1804. I mean, if it wasn't for Haitians, you wouldn't have America wouldn't have the middle of the country. Napoleon Bonaparte had to sell the Louisiana Purchase for pennies on the dollar because you niggas sent the general's head back, and they saw these other Europeans were trying to get Europe back, so he had to sell it off. He didn't want to sell. People forget. Do y'all not understand that Napoleon had control of all of Europe, the entire middle of the United States. Like, do you all not know that the reason why, Chicago, St. Louis, all of your names in the Midwest are French-based names, just like all of your names in Florida and the West Coast of the United States or the Southwest are Spanish-based. They are French-based because Napoleon controlled that entire situation. Napoleon controlled that. He controlled French Canada, Quebec, that huge chunk. He controlled that, Quebec. He controlled a lot of the British islands. And Napoleon had an empire. People don't really understand that. That's one thing I used to do. When you talk to white people about American history, you don't want to piss them off. You want to butter them up a little bit rather than talking about, slavery. You talk about how, well, even other white people fought for this country. I mean, white people fucked each other up for it. I mean, look at what happened with Napoleon Bonaparte. Look at what happened with the Spanish. And they'd be like, you're right. We did fuck each other up. You know what? You're a nice guy. What's your name? You see how I did that? You see how I did that? And I didn't lie. What I said was absolutely true. I didn't lie at all. I didn't lie at all when I said that. I ain't even talk about the Francophone countries that they still control till this day. They had all of that at one point. People forget that. I know you're just jerking my chain, but I just want to point that out because, I got respect for not ADOS. I'm not one of these ones gonna say you ain't ADOS when I ain't got a point, or when I run out of talking points, I'm gonna just charge it to that to escape. No. Yeah. He had, like, America was like, yeah, man, we'll give you some money, but we want all of this shit. For it was bad. It was like 3 cents an eight. You know what? Hold on. Let me. I don't want to be inaccurate. How much was the Louisiana Purchase? I told y'all, man, I'm a motherfucker on this history. All right, so hold on. So I want you to, now y'all know how much land. So y'all know how much land Louisiana Purchase was. It's the entire Midwest. So they 828 0. So the Louisiana Purchase was purchased for $15 million for 828,000 square miles. That means they paid. Now I understand how much. Let me see, money in today. So let's see how much today's money is, just to be fair. Okay, so I want y'all to understand this. I want y'all to understand this real quick. So today's money will be 342 million. So 342 million divided by 828,000. Okay. So they paid $413 of today's money per square mile of the entire middle of the United States of America. The entire middle. That was 828 total square miles. $413 per square miles in today's money. That's how much they got Napoleon for. And that only happened. This is how insidious white people are. Haiti is like and Haiti is as fucked up as it is, mainly because America and the West have made it that way. Let me be very clear about that. And you talk about all the nonprofits, all of that. So they have, and that's the contribution that what Haiti did. That was the impact. They got the middle of the United States $413 per square mile. That is insane. Yeah, I know that's Tariq's. So anyway, y'all, I gotta go. I appreciate all y'all super chats and everything, but I gotta bounce out. I do got something to do. Definitely, it's some streams going on. Y'all know where they are. So with that being said, this is Edward, and like I said, I'll probably put Melody's Instagram under the description and stuff like that. So check that out. So with that being said, and shout out to Don Calypso. This is Edward signing off. Peace.